This is the 18 WJTS News.
Hello and welcome to the 18 WJTS News for Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. Thank you so much for choosing us for your local news coverage this evening. I'm Jane Jackson reporting. Jasper Rubber could be closing its doors by the end of April if a buyer is not found. Employees were notified February 27th in a letter from parent company First Brands Group that the Jasper facility is slated for shutdown. All local operations will be impacted, including the company's locations along West First Avenue. The notice was issued under the Federal WARN Act, which requires employers to provide 60 days advance warning before mass layoffs or plant closures. According to the letter, operations are expected to begin winding down April 30th, with job terminations taking effect that same day. While the company anticipates the shutdown will be permanent, officials indicated there remains a possibility another company could purchase the assets and continue operations. Other First Brands facilities around the country have recently closed abruptly, prompting scrutiny over compliance with federal notification laws. The letter also made clear that bumping rights, which are sometimes used in union workplaces to allow senior employees to take positions from less senior workers during downsizing, will not apply. Because the closure is expected to be permanent, those protections will not be offered. First Brands filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in September of last year. The once major global auto parts supplier has been embroiled in legal trouble involving former top executives. Federal prosecutors allege the company's former leadership engaged in fraudulent financial practices, including concealing liabilities and improperly securing billions in loans. The U.S. Department of Justice claims the company carried more than $9 billion in liabilities while holding only a fraction of that in available funds. Now operating under new management as a debtor in possession, First Brands has also filed a civil lawsuit against its former leadership, accusing them of misappropriating hundreds of millions of dollars and contributing to the company's financial collapse. Unless a buyer steps forward, the Jasper Rubber facility is scheduled to cease operations April 30th. A woman is facing charges after allegedly taking a protected species of fish from the Patoka Lake spillway. The Indiana Department of Natural Resources reports that conservation officers received a tip on February 16th about paddlefish being illegally snagged from the spillway. An investigation led officers to 45-year-old Crystal Sheets, who was arrested in connection with the incident. Officials say the paddlefish, a native species to Indiana, has seen declining numbers and is classified as endangered in the state. It is illegal for sport anglers to harvest paddlefish. The only legal harvest in Indiana is limited to the Ohio River and requires a valid roe harvester's license. During the investigation, officers also determined Sheets was in violation of a protective order. The Pike County Economic Growth and Development Council received approval from the town of Winslow to pursue a grant application to the U.S. Economic Development Administration for assistance with Winslow's water infrastructure. Development of the professional engineer's report has been underway for nearly 2 years, which includes the goal of the improvements, the work plan for construction, and a cost estimate. Pike County EDC Executive Director Ashley Willis and the Regional 15 Planning Commission will combine the PER with letters of support from elected officials, business leaders, the school district, and other stakeholders in Winslow. They expect to submit the application in April, and it could take the USEDA up to 6 to determine whether they will fund the project. The Fern and Heimat Fest, sponsored by Best Home Furnishings, is now accepting applications for food booths and events for the 2026 festival. The 2026 Fern and Heimat Fest is scheduled for June 20th at the Ferndon Community Center. All food booths and events must be operated by DuBois County non-for-profit organizations. Groups applying must submit a list of the food items they plan to serve or details of the event they intend to host. Duplicate menus or events will not be permitted. All groups, menus, and events are subject to approval by the Heimat Fest Committee. Registration forms are available at www.fernandheimanfest.com under the Vendors tab. Additional information can be obtained by contacting Neil Wire at 812-661-2711 or by email at nwire1490@gmail.com. All applications must be submitted by Monday, March 16th. The Jasper Chamber is inviting the community to attend a legislative breakfast event at the Vincennes University Jasper Campus JCCB Lecture Hall. The event will be held from 9 to 10:30 a.m. on Saturday, March 14, 2026, and Senator Daryl Schmidt, Representative Shane Lindauer, and Representative Steve Bartels intend to visit. The public is welcome to come out to the event, meet their state legislators, and find out what happens during the legislative session. Snacks will also be provided to attendees. There is no registration required and no cost to attend. The Dubois County Women's Leadership Organization, Women Empowering Women, will be welcoming Sandy Smith to present Networking with Purpose on Thursday, March 19th. The presentation will be held at Fairfield Inn and Suites, Jasper, with doors opening at 11:30 a.m. for networking and the main event taking place from 11:45 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. In the March event, Sandy Smith will focus on how intentional connection builds momentum and meaningful professional relationships. Through guided GEM networking, participants will be encouraged to uncover the, quote, gems in the room by recognizing the value, strengths, and opportunities within each connection. Attendees will leave with the practical insight and strategies to strengthen collaboration, build confidence, and create lasting professional impact. Lunch costs $10 per person and is payable at the doors. Attendees are asked to bring exact change. Reservations for the luncheon are required by Thursday, March 12th and can be made by contacting the Jasper Chamber of Commerce at 812-482-6866 or chamber@jasperin.org. And that's your Tuesday news here on 18 WJTS. Next up, we'll be taking a look at your weather forecast.